Stages of Moral Development by Lawrence Kohlberg. So, if I'm assuming that you already have read this handout before this discussion and you already have seen or watched the video that I included in your module. So, as you already know, stages of moral development is actually it was developed by a psychologist, but this is important to learn because we will know how we will revisit um, the the stages of moral development or our development moral development as a person. Now, this study was done in, I think, in the 1980s, and in conclusion, Lawrence Kohlberg wasn't able to witness or see the last stage of his theory on on the subjects that he studied. But it's also important to note that Lawrence Kohlberg only focused on studying boys. So there weren't any girls or women part of the study. He studied them for about 20 years of his life, and he in close studying of how their lives went through, and really getting clues on how their morality has developed. And according to that study, this is the theory of the stages of moral development. Now, um, he was able to mark out 6 stages of moral development, and um, he classified it into the following levels. There are actually 6 stages, as you can see, and there are 3 levels: the pre-conventional, that has stage 1 and stage 2, and the conventional with stage 3 and stage 4, and the post-conventional with stage 5 and 6. Again, the stage 6, for the stage 6, he was able to see this with during the course of his study. Now, let's go to the topic. So, pre-conventional, when we say pre-conventional level of morality, this is more on being self-focused. The focus here is on the self or yourself. Now, stage 1 and stage 2 is here. When we say stage 1 punishment, it is the punishment obedient orientation, or um, you have to obey or you'd rather pay the consequences. And there is fear of authority when in this level. Okay, this is manifested in younger children. And stage 2, instrumental purposive orientation or pleasure orientation. This is actually self-satisfaction. So that's the question basically in this stage. What is in it for me? Unsa may naaana para sa ako? If I help you, what's in it for me? This is it. And this is actually seen on, teenagers, mostly teenagers. Yeah. Um, okay. So when we say pre-conventional level, the child is or the person is concerned with concrete consequences. Okay? Mas concerned sa concrete consequences that kanang sa tawag na, involves him or herself. Unsay naa ni para sa akwa or unsay mahitabuan ni sa akwa if dili ko ni i-follow. So this is the pre-conventional level. And you do things to avoid sanctions, or you do things because you think that there has to be fairness nga. Okay, buhaton ko ni pero dapat this is what should I get in return. Now, in stage one, or the punishment obedient orientation, what is right is to obey the rules. Or avoid physical damage to persons and property. So this is the very first stage. All of us went through this, naataan ni tanan, and but I believe that wala nagpabilin diha ang ato ang morality. So the reason why we want to obey, or the reason why we avoid, the reason why we obey the rules or authority is because we don't want to be punished. Because that's the consequence of the action of not obeying the rules or not following the rules. And as you can see there, there is deference to power and position or authority. So what is considered is simply one's own interest, and there is still no sense of others' point of view. So in the first stage, imo lang personal view, wala pa nimo gitanaw ang kinatibuk-an nga view why you should follow the rule, or why you should follow, or why you should obey, diba? However, in stage 2, or in the instrumental purposive orientation, what is right is your immediate interest to the situation, and letting others act also in their own interest. So kaingkag unsa may labot nako ana if I involve myself, ana, 'di ba? So, um, what's in it for me? Dayon kung i-involve na kong self, what's in it for me? Unsa may ma-receive na ako in return? See, very self-focused ang first level. That's what you need to remember all the time. Aning level, or the stages, the first two stages, very self-focused. Okay? The reason for this is very instrumental to satisfy one's needs and admit the needs of others in their own self-interest. So, the example in the video was that the girl helped the boy because she was thinking na, okay, if I will help you later on, you will be able to help me if I need your help. So this is it. This is instrumental purposive orientation. That's the morality. So, okay, I will help you get away from these bullies, but I should make sure that in the long run, you will be able to help me as well when I need your help from, other things. So this is it. Okay? So, dapat fair lang na tabangan pud ko nimo because I also helped you. This is stage 2. And this is seen mga teenagers lagi. Yeah. Now, we go to the conventional. Conventional is medyo nag-develop na ang ato ang moral development. Nag-develop na itong moral development. Nag-develop na ang ato ang morality. So we are now more group focused. Nag-evolve na ta. Instead of thinking of our own, we are now thinking of ourselves as part of a group. Now, in the conventional level, again, there are two stages. Stage 3 is the interpersonal concordance orientation, where one is more focused on being accepted by the group. Okay? Being approved. Your action should be approved by the particular or the set of society or group or environment that you are with. And if you want to be accepted, you want to be approved of that particular society, you have to be loyal to be able to belong to that society as well. Kaya diba? Ano sa nalipagtanaw nila sa imo ha? This is stage 3. Medyo self-focused paghihapon, pero you are trying to, be part of the group. Okay? You um you try to concur with the norms. While stage 4 is the social structure orientation. Now, this is wider in scope than of stage 3. So stage 4 na big step from thinking of, from the first stage na avoid lang kag punishment, that's why you obey, or stage 2 na, okay, if I do this, of course, you have to do this for me as well. Kaya gitabangan ta ka, okay? Sense of fairness. Stage 3, okay, I will do this because I have to be accepted by this group. Now, stage 4, you are now thinking of your obligations or duty to the society that you belong. It's more objective in the sense your morality now is more objective. You are thinking not only of the benefits, you are thinking of doing things because that's what is expected of you to do. That is your duty to your society. Okay, now when we say conventional level, there is now a fulfillment of roles as expected from us in, of course, maintaining the social order and supporting that social order and identifying persons or groups involved in this order. So again, in conventional level, the fulfillment of what is expected from us, from our society, this is where it begins. But stage 3 and stage 4, from stage 3, dako gid kay siya nga step if you reach the stage 4. Because in the stage 3, naapagid gihapon nagpabilin ang medyo self-interest gamay, because you are trying to help other people because um you want other people to see you as someone who helps all the time. So, medyo pakitang tao, but um because you wanted to be approved of by everyone. um okay, say for example, um you want you want to be approved of the society that you belong to, and ang norm anang a society is to help one another. So of course, ikaw as someone who belong in that society, you will also do the act of helping to conform with your society. Not because it's your duty, but because you are thinking that, okay, I have to be loyal and I have to belong to my society. Therefore, I have to conform to their norms. This is interpersonal concordance orientation. Okay. But here, there's reinforcement of mutual relationships like trust, loyalty, respect, and gratitude. And that is how we try to maintain social order, di ba? Now, if we go to stage 4, the social structure orientation, do not confuse yourselves, ha. Okay? After this, the social contract pod ang stage 5. Anyway, in the social structure orientation, this is where medyo nag-mature na ang ato ang morality in the sense of when we talk of maturity, ha, or when we talk of development. Um, at this point or at this stage, you are no longer concerned if other people are, or how other people's conceive or perceive who you are. You are now more focused on, I have to do this because this is what I have to do. This is what I should be doing. Okay, this is my duty and therefore I have to do it. Not because na nagtanaw na ako, or not because I something will maripay ko if I do this, or because I don't want to be punished. Okay? Why do you help? Because it's your duty to help other people. Dili kay nagtanaw nimo. Why do you help? Sorry. Why do you help Lolo and Lola cross the street? In this stage, you are doing this because this is what you are supposed to do. You are doing this out of duty. You are helping other people out of that, um, you know, sense of duty. Na, I have to do this. I should be doing this. Okay? I should be honest. Okay? Now, this is social structure orientation. Now we go to the post-conventional level. This is the last level, and this is way above the self-focus and the group focus. Now this is dili na lang ta sa self, dili na lang po dito sa where's ahang society ta nagbelong. We are now focused on the whole, ang kinatibukan, the universal effects of whatever it is that we will do. Okay? Universal focus. Unsa dapat ang buhaton sa tanan. Dili lang in my society, but tanan tawo. Okay? In this level, the post-conventional level, which is universal focus, there are again two stages, but these are the last two stages, the social contract orientation and the universal ethical principle. Now, stage 5 is the social contract orientation. This stage includes what is right, individual rights, and standards which have been critically examined and agreed upon. One says, and I quote, "These rights have been examined, and since they are right, they are the ones to be followed." Unquote. So here the concern is doing our obligations for the good of everyone, for the good of all. Dili lang gid sa atong society. And I guess in my own personal opinion, the best example is, especially now in this pandemic that we are still battling against, the best thing that we can do, or the, what our moral obligation should be focused on, is really doing our best to contain the virus on our own way. That's the best thing. Um, it's our duty to other people na dili na to sila mahawaan og sakit. So therefore, we have to be responsible in our actions. Number one, we have to follow protocols. Number two, get vaccinated. Again, I am an advocate of this because this is our responsibility to each and everyone, not just to our family, but to everyone in the world, not just in our own society or not just in our own country. We are all suffering from this great pandemic. And that little thing that you can do is to get vaccinated, stay home. Don't add to the burden of the world. That is our main duty as of now, my dear students, if I may say so. Although there are more, or there are other things that we have to concern ourselves, but as of this moment, this is, primal. Um, dili ta dapat maging selfish. Dili na to na tong kaugalingon nga pangunaw na. What we should be thinking of is the effect of our actions to the whole world. Again, any act, mag-create gina siya ripple. Di ba? Pag mag namoy water na naa sa basin, inyuhang itap ang unsa lang nga part, 'di ba, mag-create og ripples. So please, always be mindful of your actions. Now, the last is the universal ethical principle. Again, sadly, this was not projected. This was not observed because in the universal ethical principle, the person now is able to transcend all the principles, and diri naa na siya kaugalingon niyang ethical principle nga gi-develop nga iyang gatuuhan nga makaingon siya nga mao gid ni siya insakto despite of that being hard, despite of that dili siya ideal, um but this is what mao ni siya need as of the situation. A person nga maka-display ani is someone who has courage good to do what is right. And again, class, most of the times, lisod jud kayo buhaton ng insakto. Okay? We have to admit that to ourselves. Lisod kayo pilion ang sakto. Or buhaton. Because again, we are very subjective. Lisod jud kayo sa ato magpaka-objective. Especially if it involves us. Okay? So I guess that's it. I'd like to share this. I will ask questions about this on our next session. I hope you have read Mr. Santos' dilemma, and I will not read it here. I will assume that you have read it. So for your activity, you can write it down on any piece of paper and bring it on our next session. I will ask questions about it, and we will have a forum about this as well. And I guess that ends our discussion for this topic. I hope you have learned a thing or two from our discussion. And I will see you on our next session. Thank you and stay safe.